Hey guys, I'm super excited. Today we're checking something really special. This is the Air Music Effects Collection 2, creative effects actually. And we have just about 40 different plugins. So I'm not going to do a deep dive on each one, but instead we're going to just check out what's included and we're going to try out some of them. And if you have any questions or you want to see any of these plugins in more details, let me know in the comments. Let's get started. Okay, so for this video, I'm going to use the hybrid synthesizer, also by Air Music. I really love this one, very effective. And we're going to start out with the default sound, the default preset, which is basically a sawtooth. So let's see how that sounds. Very basic. So now let's see what kind of plugins we have included in the Effects Collection 2 by Air Music. And I'm gonna start with something really fun. This is the ensemble. So this will get you much more, from any source. So let's see how that sounds. And we have the rate, there's some modulations going on here. We have depth, we have the mix, and we have also shimmer, we have the stereo width. And so this will add more substance to whatever you're doing. So now let's add some reverb. In this package, we actually have few different reverbs. We have spring, we have non-linear, and we have this one. So this one is pretty straightforward. We have the pre-delay, we have time, room size, we have the balance between the early reflections and the tail, the mix, and other things that you can do to shape how this sounds. Let's try. And we can change the early reflection here. Let's try church. And we can add some delay. We can change the mix, the balance. But let's add some more, a little bit creative plugins to the mix here. So this is flavor, and it's pretty simple, but very, very effective. So we have the timbre. If you click this, you'll get a huge list of different devices that we're going to run our signal through, the audio through this. And we have, for example, gramophone, if you know what that is. Pretty cool. And we have this vinyl here. You can add this distortion and noise, flutter, and monofy things. Let's try something else. Let's go with this radio tube. Nice. Let's keep that one and move to the next plugin. So the next one is a multi-tap delay. We have some other delays as well, but this one is pretty special because we have 5 taps and you can route things in different ways. So for example, we have this feedback routing, and I'm gonna click this and get tap number 2, and you can send it either to itself or to the input or to any other taps. So just for fun, we'll do this one. And of course, for each one, we have the levels, we have panning, and this is really creative stuff because you can also change the time signature right here. Let's do something like this, and feedback and mix, of course. And by the way, all these plugins can scale. So I'm going to change the user interface to, for example, 160%. And let's try this. And of course, we have different presets, so we can try something else. For example, let's get this ringing. So the next plugin is definitely one of my favorite. We have Talkbox. Now on the left, we have the vowels, right? You can just change that. And then we have the envelope depth, we have format, mix, and some other controls. Let's try it. And let me remind you how everything sounds just dry without these effects. Next, we have stutter. Let me show you how this sounds. Right, we have number of steps, so I can change that even to, let's say, 12. We have the mix, we have intervals right here, and there's freeze options and modulations for pitch and panning. Let's try this. But of course, again, we can go to something a little bit more standard. So similar, but not exactly the same. We have the pumper. Let's see how that sounds. So let's see what we've got. So first of all, we have the depth, right? But you can do this also here in this UI. And we have the attack, which you can move. This one is the same. And then, of course, we have the triggering offset. We have shape that you can change. And of course, we have the speed. So let's try something else. Well, another plugin maybe from the same family would be the filter gate. So we have the pattern. You can see lots of choices here. So we can go, for example, with this fader, and then we have the rate, and let's change that, for example, to 8. And then we have the filters, we have the gate, we have modulation. Very creative. There's a lot of things that you can do with this one. Now, if you want to create a little bit of distortion, a little bit of grit into the sound, so you can use the diode clipper. We also have a phaser, of course. The pitch shifter is pretty simple. We have the shift on the left, right? Number of semitones. Then we have the mix, but we also have the mode. So we have vocal, we have bass, we have beats, chords, and textures. So let's go with textures. And you can play with the shift and you can adjust this to create some very cool effects if you're just using the mix. If you go all the way to the left, if you're on 100% mix, then you'll just be shifting things. But if you're playing with this somewhere in the middle, then you'll be sort of adding more voices. Okay, so we covered so many plugins, but I didn't get to do all of them. There are 40 different plugins in this bundle. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you want me to deep dive into, if you want me to show you more examples, I'll be happy to do so. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. And of course, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next videos very soon. Thank you and bye-bye.